Welcome everyone back to Sonic Steam Edition.
I hope you're ready for our forgettable Sonic game.
Anyway, wait though, cutscene.
Radiation source is the robot we've been chasing. I bet he's covered in the stuff because he's working with Eggman.
Speaking of that episode,
Snappy sees us.
I've seen that episode of Captain Scarlet where that happens.
So yeah, here's D-Fekt's origin.
Behold, buffoon bots, Ragnapot, my greatest creation. This magnificent robot will suck every gram of Ragnium from the area and fuel my Eggbot racers to glorious victory against Sonic.
It's the scrap heap for us for sure. Looks like the boss has.
I mean, you can wait to see it in action.
Activating Ragnium magnets now.
You can attract flowers instead.
The magnets are supposed to attract Ragnium, not this junk. Your eco-magnets are really harshing my mellow. You are made of fail. Ragnapot.
Oh, you actually use that one.
I'm giving you a name that befits your unsatisfactory performance, like Disappointedtron 20, or Botchbot, or Fiasco 500.
I like bots.
D-Fekt.
Good thing the boss is fickle.
I'm leaving, D-Fekt. The very sight of you sickens me. And get a shave! You look like a hipster with that ridiculous beard.
You made him!
Wait.
Or maybe they didn't put the flowers on it.
Bless him, he's trying.
To be fair, I actually do... Okay, hold on.
Yes?
To be fair, I actually do prefer the way Bill and Alan Denton write Eggman over the way the guys who wrote Rise of Lyric do, because my problem with the way Eggman is written in Rise of Lyric, specifically when you fight his boss, when he's constantly, where he's not only is he incompetent, he's even proud of it during that boss battle. It's like, see, look at that, and I only needed to read the instructions once. But in here, they do a much better job of making him have his comedic side, while at the same time also having his more threatening aspect to it, in the horrible way he treats D-Fekt. Like, I feel like
that's always been Podtacker Graph's strength, Eggman.
Well, actually, true, that is true. Although the thing is, actually, no, Eggman was barely in. Wait, was Eggman even in Shattered Crystal? Now that I think about it, no, it was just Lyric, wasn't it?
No. Or maybe he was, and he was just that insignificant.
No, I don't think he was. Now, was he, Jova?
I know Metal Sonic was in it, right?
Yeah, Metal Sonic was a big-lipped alligator moment in Shattered Crystal, Dej. Yes.
He was there all the same, but wait, so you're referring to Eggman being in Shattered Crystal?
Yes.
No, he wasn't.
Okay.
No.
In that case, it's good. I actually do think it's fine. Like, I don't really like the way Eggman is written in Rise of Lyric. I do like the characterization of the main characters in Rise of Lyric. Eggman's characterization, on the other hand, no, not a fan. I actually prefer the way he's characterized. I actually prefer the way he's characterized in this game. I'm guessing this is how he is. I'm guessing this is how he is in most of the Boom episodes, probably.
Yes.
Okay. Sure. I mean, if Alan and Bill are involved, then yeah, I would assume so. Go on.
I did like his role overall in Rise of Lyric. It was nice that he did get to have a drop on Lyric in the end as well, too. But I will admit that dialogue-wise, he was probably better in the Boom TV series in this game.
Anyway, yeah, for this boss battle, it's a spider, and you have to, for the first phase, you have to hit him whenever he gets himself dizzy. And in the second phase, you have to throw back his spider balls back at D-Fekt.
Yes. Those are some big spider balls at that too.
Yes. And that's basically it. Just as you can see, the life bar on the top has actually 3 sections, which indicate the 3 phases of the boss battle, basically. So we're almost on phase 2. And there we are. Now 3rd phase. We're gonna switch places with Knuckles now. It's time for some digging.
Yeah. Alright, cue Digatona from
Oh, it's a thing to it. Like I said, if anything, it would be more like a remix of the Drill Wisp theme, considering the Knuckles basically control like the Drill Wisp in these sections.
Well, I mean, considering, Knuckles' thing is digging tunnels, yeah, and plus I wanted to add a bit more variety to stuff.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, the idea is that there's some explosive spider things, and each of them need to be because one of the Knuckles attacks in doing these bits is that he has a Knight style attack where you have to circle around an enemy and it will hit that enemy. And you also have to be using the correct element, fire or ice, depending on the color of the thing surrounding each ball. And there we go.
Think you got him, Knuckles.
Just to make sure.
Winning! Yeah!
Well, still a better ending than...
Did he actually just say that?
Sonic was doing his best Charlie Sheen impression.
well, Deji, it's still better than the other time that winning was... The last time the winning was used in the finale of 2.5 Men.
Hold on, I didn't quite catch that. What was the thing that he said that it bothered you, Shirai?
Basically, they used the catchphrase of Charlie Sheen's character from 2.5 Men, and what I was saying was that it was still a better use of it here compared to the ending of 2.5 Men, where they literally had his character come back shot from behind because that wasn't actually Charlie Sheen, only for him to get squished by a light. And then the actual creator of the show showed up on screen and said winning as a way to mock him.
Anyway,
he himself got squished.
Also,
Okay.
it's not so much
It
to do with the
was a
character's
giant
catchphrase, it was more the catchphrase that
Yeah,
he gave
anyway,
himself
cutscene
after
again.
he went on a bender. But yeah.
Yeah. You know, it's really sad how much...
Hold on, guys. Cutscene.
This seems kind of like a violation of his basic civil
He's
rights.
strangling him. It's not Marie Sticks.
Analyzing now. And ding! I thought the little robot had some connection to Ragnium, and it turns out I was right. He's clearly had contact with the Ragnium, which Eggman was using to power his Eggbot racers.
So the question is, where did he go?
Well, I sure didn't let him go because he was adorable and having his rights violated, and I love him so much! Okay, if we can get a tracker on him, we can follow him to the source of the Ragnium.
also,
This works out.
also Sticks.
It's gotta go fast.
Also Sticks. We've been through this. He's a robot. He doesn't have rights.
Yeah. Or maybe, actually, Pedro, I think I've got a theory. She saw that episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation Series 2, where part of that was about Data having rights in that court episode.
Oh, for a moment there I thought you were gonna...
Wait, episodes of the
Very
show.
disappointed in you, Pedro.
I'm sorry, what, Shirai?
Dream the Rabbit would be very disappointed in you.
Maybe you were going to say
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
the entirety of Mega Man would hate you.
And again,
especially
you were
Dr.
gonna-
Wily.
You were
gonna say something, Pedro?
Well, here's the big difference. D-Fekt has yet to show any kind of complex AI, so...
He literally has shown that he has an inferiority complex in that past cutscene.
Yeah, according to that
And
episode...
his anger towards Eggman.
According
Yeah.
to that episode, the three things that a non-human being would have to prove that he is sentient is consciousness, ability to... Okay, I got the first one. Shit. Let me get up the other two, because the other two just went the fuck out of my head.
There was an episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation. They did a great job exploring that topic, actually.
It was the episode Measure of a Man. Yeah, it was the episode Measure of a Man.
Yep, Measure of a Man.
You wanted to say something before the cutscene, Deji?
Anyway, here we are. Here we are. Basically, sentience. I got the Wikipedia. I just have to spell criteria right. Anyway, you guys go on while I find it.
Yeah, go ahead, Dutch.
So I had an idea on how to introduce Styx into the IDW comic, and it's basically make her a normal girl who lived in Station Square and then saw the events of SA1 with Eggman trying to nuke the place and then Perfect Chaos. Then she sees the space colony trying to crash towards the planet. Then she tries to go on vacation. Sonic Heroes happens. Then she decides to go camping. Hey, shout an alien invasion. So she's just this character that slowly descends to madness.
I found.
Let me finish. Everything she sees around her, she feels like it's just one big conspiracy, and the world is after her.
I found the other two criteria.
Go on, dude.
Intelligence and self-awareness. I think that this guy here has those three criteria. So he has just as much rights as Data. So you know what? I agree with Styx. To hell with the rest of the cast.
Yeah! Who would have thought that from
the
a
crazy-
Sonic game we get this complex an idea, but
Yeah.
here we go.
The crazy raccoon girl has a point.
No, Honey Badger. Like, look. Yes, I know that
I did
people
it
thought-
again.
To be fair, okay. If you're harkening back to the days when people thought she was essentially Marine, fair beans, but no. Styx is a honey badger, and Marine is an annoying raccoon. Emphasis on annoying.
Oh god, I mean, because if honey badgers are the way that Top Gear described them, that sounds horrifying.
Well,
Basically,
honestly,
according to them, I don't know if it's true or not. Basically, according to them, honey badgers are the ones that rip off your testicles.
Basically, honey badgers are the animals that don't give a frick. Why? Because they're kind of indestructible. They have incredibly tough hides, essentially, so they're very durable. And some predators even break their teeth on their backs, if you can believe that. And they apparently have special secreted glands that can help them keep from getting poisoned easily either. And my god, I think they come from Australia? I think. Let me just check and make sure.
I know bandicoots are from Australia. Koalas.
Well, yeah, of course.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Animal Australian Animal Lessons with SCWRM Comics.
Yeah, no, honey badgers are actually from Africa, Southeast Asia, and the Indian continent. But still, though, they do deal with a lot of dangerous predators, so kudos.
Alright, so what's next then?
Another level. Basically, this island is the Spooky Castle island, basically.
I mean, I guess I'll give him credit that the level variety is neat enough with the tropes in there. I will agree, though, that I do wish the terrains did a bit more with those level environments.
Well, I mean, it's on the 3DS. I can cut them a bit of slack as to how much they can.
Well.
Enough.
Let me put it this way. Like, let's compare this to.
Sonic Rush Adventure?
God, what was the name of Jova? Remind me. Was it like Hang Castle? Was it the name?
Yes, Hang Castle from Sonic Heroes.
That's it. Yeah, Hang Castle. Like Hang Castle was full of gimmicks that really felt very evil castle-y, for the lack of a better way to put it.
Fair, was this level actually stated as the castle though, as opposed to it? Because it seems like this one's called Spooky Heads as opposed to being specifically a castle. This is more so the haunted level, I guess.
Well, there's
Castles are haunted.
Well, there's a castle. There's a castle in the map screen in this area. So.
And there's a castle in the distance, so maybe we're making our way towards that castle.
I guess. Well, the point is, this is the spooky level. That's the basic point. And
Oh god, I've been watching Ghibli movies too much. I keep thinking you guys were going to say there's a castle in the sky, and I'm like, oh.
I honestly
really
thought you were gonna think Howl's Moving Castle.
No, that joke was referenced. That joke is reserved for Nino Kuni One Dwebs. Look, it's a castle in the sky.
Wait. Actually, Dwebs, if you want to talk about Castle in the Sky with Sonic, that's Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
Ah, well, there you go. Oh yeah, by the way, if you're speaking of Castle in the Sky, don't worry, I'll be pretty quick about it. I've actually had a theory as to why the why the guy has his castle flying about.
Don't spoil it for me because I haven't seen it yet.
So he could dodge his
Not seen that
taxes.
movie either. You know, it's funny because when you get down to it, Howl's Moving Castle is essentially about a guy who lives in his car.
It's basically a Japanese remake of Max and Paddy's Road to Nowhere, where they go driving about in something and they have to pay council tax.
I think that we have more concerning, more pressing concerns with that movie, considering the brilliant name that Miyazaki came up with for the civilization in that movie.
Good old La Puta.
Yep. Whoops. And yes,
Essentially means whore.
yes, and Miyazaki has indeed said that he had no idea because the word La Puta in of itself doesn't mean anything in either English or Japanese, and Miyazaki doesn't know any language outside of his own. So from his perspective, there's no the La Puta is just a made up.
Straight. As far as he knew, Puta was just a made up word, and that somehow it ended up being that. You cannot make that stuff up.
Well, to be fair, like I said, as if he didn't know anything outside any language outside of Japanese, yeah, that's a perfectly possible mistake to make.
Oh, I do wonder if, as far as he knew, La Puta was a made up word in that language. Okay, where did he get the inspiration to use specifically the word puta? Puta. Okay, look. Again, from his perspective, puta was just a nonsense word anyway. So, I wonder.
Oh no! Well, let me help you there, Jova. See, here's the thing. The name of the civilization in that movie is called La Puta, and it's just one word: Laputa.
Oh, okay,
but
so that's its connection to the story to make it a title.
yeah. Whereas the whore in Spanish is la space and then the word puta.
Oh god, could you imagine if that was the answer to if they kept La Puta in the Spanish title? Could you imagine that as the answer to a trivia question on a game show? What was Studio Ghibli's first movie? La Puta.
Yeah, the original Japanese name is even to this day still in Japan is La Puta Castle in the Sky. But when it came to releasing the movie outside of Japan, eventually when he was told, Miyazaki agreed with just calling it Castle in the Sky and dropping as well as changing the name of the civilization to something else.
I'm sure the kids would have had a lot of questions to ask their parents with a title like that.
Yeah, but
It
Miyazaki
means poop. Yeah, that's what it means. Don't say that.
no, but
Actually, that's mierda.
I know. Just lie. Lie to your kids.
it's
Lie to your kids that you protect.
it's
Perfect advice to parenting, Mr. Majek.
Shiroi.
Yeah.
Wait, yeah. Could you imagine if a Japanese guy wrote some kind of ancient civilization and named it something that would be a naughty word in Welsh?
I don't really know any swears in Welsh.
Well,
Welsh woman who doesn't really know a lot of Welsh.
But that would censor the video.
all right.
Honestly, YouTube probably won't even pick up Welsh as something that's real, so I could learn some swears, say them, and YouTube will be fine.
Is Welsh a real language though?
So does that mean we can? So does that mean we can also, the same way Shiro and Deji do it, can we also make our? It's a shame Welsh people aren't real jokes.
Yeah, sure. Some people would believe that, I guess. Sure.
Okay.
According to a lot of people,
England,
we're all
right?
English, so you know.
I thought that was always the case.
All right, Thunder Chamber.
You know, some people say that Wales isn't even full of people, just dragons.
I thought Wales was full of actual whales.
It's not spelt like that.
Or you live on top of a giant whale. That's always moving.
Dads, this isn't Pirate 101.
Personally.
All right.
Ah, good old team. Anyway, race time.
Yeah, again, the first lap should be like just do your best in the first lap and try to memorize your best the specific places where you're asked to use either fire or ice, and then when you do laps 2 and 3 with that previous knowledge, you should be able to outrun the guy pretty fine.
Yes, very good.
Or you can always do what I just did from learning and just jump over those particular ice blocks, since I knew that I could make that jump. So aside from that, yeah, it's another race. It's because the gameplay loop is very pronounced. Like it always boils down to a few levels, a race. Occasionally, you can also do max speed zones and Tails mini games in between. Which again, like I do enjoy the max speed mini games. Not so much the Tails ones. I don't care for the submarine, and I honestly don't struggle to understand how I'm supposed to beat the hoverboat ones, because
The way to get the hoverboat ones is that you need to speed through constantly so that you can make it for the interval of each one.
I guess I just I guess it's just that, you know, there's so many ice blocks that I just don't feel comfortable hurrying, because it will make my chances of dodging those fewer. Go ahead, Lips.
Before we get to the next cutscene, just a little speaking of jumping, as I mentioned that earlier, me and Pedro have been going through most of them recently, and we recently finished the ones that Miyazaki directed. Out of the ones that I've seen so far, well, including the ones he didn't direct, my favourite ones are Nausicaa and Whisper of the Heart. Whisper of the Heart is also the more tragic one, considering the director died a few years later.
You know what's interesting? We were talking about it recently in my birthday pick. Whisper of the Heart is pretty much a Makoto Shinkai movie, except the movie doesn't go off the rails. There's no.
You gotta say it's a Shinkai movie, except it's good.
Basically, okay, he has made 5 meters per second, which is also kind of like that. But go on, Trevor.
And I'd also argue that, you know, Place Promised in the Early Days is still one of his good ones. It's not perfect, but it's one of his good ones.
I'm surprised no one's defending your name.
Well, your name is
Your name is.
Yeah.
So now we're so now.
Oh, I like this one. I like the single.
Wait, then you'll be able to track me. No, you'll be with us. Or will I?
Just do it, Sticks. Come on.
Hey, Adorobot 2000. Don't mind me. I just came here to say hi. Nothing sneaky or weird about saying hi, right?
Are we about to see one of the top 10 anime betrayals?
Well, speaking of anime, there's a Japanese who's like, what do you mean by yes?
Okay. Bye-bye.
You could have picked someone else to do this.
No.
What do you trust, Six?
Oh, no,
because-
that's clear. Never mind.
Pretty much,
For some reason.
I do it. Well, it's because Styx has been the only one who's probably treated him well and like an actual person.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, back to what I was.
You know what?
You need to befriend the robots, Pedro.
Well, I kind of just did, or rather, Sticks did. No, but yeah, no. Well, no. What I was saying is that Whisper of the Heart is basically a teenage romance, as well as a coming-of-age story for one of them. Except there's no paranormal stuff. It's just a simple, down-to-earth, coming-of-age love story. That's it. You see, Shinkai, you don't need to throw in supernatural shit for no reason. Go on.
You know what?
And
Okay, you know what? I'm actually hold on.
And what supernatural stuff there is actually, it's just all in the main character's head.
Okay. Let me put it like this. For as much problem as I have with Shinkai, I've never really subscribed to the feeling that the problem with his movies is the supernatural stuff. I've always just felt like it's all about how he's, handled the supernatural stuff, essentially. Like, look, Your Name was handling the supernatural matter pretty well until the big plot twist comes, and then everything really just does not work when you have time to think about what the movie was like with that twist in mind, essentially.
Let me put it this way. Sorry, go on. Thought you were
And
gonna-
argue that Place Promised in early days was even fine with how little supernatural stuff there is. As for Children Who Chase Lost Voices, yeah, I do feel like that movie's point was to be all about the supernatural.
Oh no, that one was
stuff.
fine. That movie's just bad.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's let me put it this way. Let me put it this way, Jova. Like even in his good ones, the problems usually derive from the supernatural elements. I just don't think he's very good at handling the supernatural, to be honest with you. Because because even when he does it quote unquote well, the problems the movie usually has usually are tied to when he starts introducing the supernatural aspects of the story. It really, and again, like we've said, his best movie still, at least in our opinion, is still the one that has none of it in. You know?
Well, again, unless you count the fact that there is that sky tower beam, which is revealed to be supernatural in Place Promised in our early days.
Well, I was talking about 5 centimeters.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, remember, those two movies are in the same universe.
Yeah,
as
true.
you pointed out.
True, but but let's just think about 5 centimeters on its own. You know, on its own, the movie has zero supernatural, and I honestly think it allows Shinkai to just focus on the character development, and I think the movie is all the better for it, to be honest with you.
And I think that movie came
Yeah.
first, so yeah, we can pretty much disregard the supernatural stuff for the time.
No. Actually, sure. Place Promised in our early days came first before
Yeah.
5 centimeters per second.
It came before. That being said, only the more dedicated ones, or the otaku ones, as Shinkai puts it, will notice anyway, and you can just watch both movies without watching the other either way, because the movies don't really have any kind of major ties. They're just kind of like little connections here and there.
Well, I mean, considering how they explicitly put in that scene to establish they're in the same universe, it's kind of rich if he calls someone an otaku for noticing that, because that feels like the kind of detail that you put in for somebody to notice.
Yeah, but to be fair, he was when he was talking about it, he clearly phrased it in a jokey tone. To be fair, so I'm okay with that, and the audience did laugh at when he said that, so that's fine. It's not like
It's also, I think, more of a cute little reference for moviegoers rather than something that means anything significant.
Pretty much. Mm-hmm. Again, while he does interview pretty badly from what we've seen, he never strikes me as a dick kind of guy.
Oh, no.
Oh, you just don't understand my movie just because people didn't like it.
He's
Like-
not. He's not Uwe Boll.
no,
It's not David Cage or
like she always said, his problem is that he doesn't think when he talks. That's the
he
problem.
doesn't hear himself. Words just come out and then
He
they're gone.
and then he constantly has that self-realization when it's too late.
I'm honestly trying to wonder, considering how he does that as well when he's being interviewed, is that how he usually is on his day-to-day basis? I wonder how he is with his wife or whoever he has. He will say something really stupid, and then the wife calls him out. Oh crap! Sorry, honey. I wasn't paying attention.
Honey, I always felt that you had a very larger-than-life personality. I mean that in a good way, of course. I really do think that you talk a lot, but I actually like that about you.
He's so shy and not used to public speaking because he had
it's
this sudden popularity surge.
If I was part of Shinkai's circle of friends, I would immediately go to him and say, "Look, dude, here's what you do. Before you say something, think a bit about what you're about. Don't immediately blurt out whatever first thing comes into your mind. Think for a second before you answer a question. Try doing
Bound
that."
to be the same with his movie making as well, because that's how his movie making feels
Yeah.
like as well. 'Cause
Yeah.
again, even when everybody and their mother was praising Your Name, he was actually one of the few people who did critique the movie for its legit flaws and was like, okay guys, maybe don't praise it too much, and how again he goes on about how much he really could have fixed it in hindsight. Like, sure, it's the coulda, woulda, shoulda as usual, but he does come off as a guy who genuinely does want to do his best. It's just that, well, circumstances be circumstances.
It's like we've said. Like I genuinely does feel like he gets super enthusiastic about writing this movie, and by the time he realizes the problems, it's already too late because the movie is already deep in production, and we can't change the script at this point because it's an animated film.
Pretty much.
So, well, crap.
That's the thing. Reshoots for animated films are surprisingly a lot harder to do than reshoots for live.
It's easier with CG animation because you can just go to the computer and digitally alter things. With hand-drawn animation, not really, because you have to go all the way and redraw everything and redraw every frame. So yeah, it's nowhere near it. That's why you see a lot of old hand-drawn animated cartoons with their mistakes left in, because even when you do notice them, going back to fix them would be too time consuming and way too costly. So sorry, gotta let that one out the door.
Again, it really is a pity because I do feel like if he we have seen that he can do incredible stuff, and let's be honest, his animation still is stellar overall, and he does have good story plot ideas. Like, again, Your Name is actually a decent enough story idea. Even Weathering with You, for all its many problems that we covered, did have good ideas, and it seemed like it was going good places with them. It's just that it shot itself in the foot a few times. Each time it felt like it had something going good, went into rehab, healed itself, ran back out, only to then shoot itself again in the other leg. And then by the third act, it's pretty much a bout of shooting itself, somehow surviving, but crawling over the finish line in such a messed up fashion.
Yeah, basically.
Anyway, we get closer to the haunted castle.
Yes.
Or are we in the castle, since it looks like we're in some of the...
There you go, there's the castle right there in the background. I don't know, maybe it's Beast's Castle, I don't know.
So yeah,
my god, it kind of does look a bit like Beast's Castle.
So yeah, the moral of the story is the owner of the movie castle is a tax dodger who should be in jail.
You know what? That makes me wonder, actually. What would a Sonic game directed, drawn, and maybe not written, but hell, let's go overall. What would a Sonic game by Makoto Shinkai be like?
That would be simple. It would be the ultimate movie that caters to the Sonami crowd, full on. Like it would be like the most glorious, unashamed big romance between Sonic and Amy. You know?
Well, it'll be a more interesting plot than Sonic Forces.
Okay.
Honestly, Pedro, I thought you were gonna go with the obvious joke that it would have been what Sonic 06 was, because that has the big supernatural climax. It has the declaration of love with kissing Sonic in the end.
Okay, here's my thing. If you gave me the choice of either Makoto Shinkai or Pontac and Graph, I'll take Pontac and Graph. Because at the very least, Pontac and... I mean, yeah, you can talk about the execution all you like. But at the very least, Pontac and Graph have at least a consistent idea throughout their project, as opposed to just, having one and then just jumping off into the other direction.
Nah, but you see, Shinkai will give people the same energy as the Adventure nowadays.
You know what? If Shinkai can finally... What? Well, honestly, that does depend, honestly.
Yeah, that depends a bit.
That's the thing, that Adventure's plots are only slightly more coherent than those Shinkai ones.
But it'll have that raw energy.
I don't know that, Jack.
I would say it'll be good, but it'll have that energy that people want.
No, what me and Jova mean, Dej. What me and Jova mean, Dej, is that... No, okay. Here's the thing. Adventure energy involves action. It involves, attitude and a lot of witty remarks, humor, all that stuff. Like the no Furo movies, I'm out of here type of stuff. Shinkai is just romance and super high drama and emotion all the time. So not really adventure energy.
The
on.
most action we ever got in a Shinkai film was place promised in our early days. Even that, I wouldn't say it's necessarily high energy. It's like kind of partly a war story, not the kind of energy we're necessarily looking for in a Sonic thing. Like, okay, look, Shinkai is many things.
You say that despite the fact that the last Sonic game was a war story.
No.
Team Sonic Racing.
No.
Let Joe finish. Go on.
Let me put it like this: war story, not in the sense that Sonic Forces was, but kind of like mellow war story. Like again, not even high octane drama like Forces was aiming to be in that sense. Like again, look, I'm really not kidding when I say that Sonic 06 feels the closest to what a Makoto Shinkai Sonic game would be like. And not just because, it's bad, but no, seriously, Sonic 06 matches best the tones that Makoto Shinkai goes for. It has some of those slower and somber moments that he loves in his works and whatnot. And like I said, the whole Elise kissing Sonic thing, that's actually peak Makoto Shinkai affair. Good or bad, whichever way you take it.
Shiro, what do you think of the idea of a tragic Shinkai-esque big epic supernatural romance with Sonic and Amy?
Yeah, there's a lot in this franchise he could work with.
Yeah.
Why?
He probably said it in the arc even for some.
Like, can you
Of course.
like the fanfic crowd will go wild. Like it's just like
Exactly. We will.
So, how about Sonic, the actual true Sonic ship?
yes.
I honestly, I prefer Sonic and Blade. Being those alternate dimension pals that work really well together in spite of their alternate universe differences.
Sure. All right, everybody. In the next pub, we finally finish the game.
Hooray!
See ya.
Okay, we'll see you then.
See ya.